What's going on, everybody? Super Saiyan Paul here, joined by Unreal Entertainment Gaming and Sean for Fatal Brotherhood. Today, we're going to be talking about Xenoverse 2 and what we expect to happen in Xenoverse 2 and some of the changes that we might be seeing. So, first and foremost, we already know what's going to happen in the story somewhat. We know Mira's going to return, Mira and Toa.
Oh,
yeah. With the cliffhanger left at the end of Xenoverse 1. And it's pretty clear that we're going to get a sequel because this game was so big and it sold so well that...
And the fact they have a survey going on too, and you know.
Yeah, they had a survey going on earlier about what you guys wanted, what you guys liked from Xenoverse and stuff like that. So, my thoughts and opinions for the story.
Super Saiyan God Yamcha. What?
Oh God, come on, man. I honestly think they're gonna take. They already took elements from MMO, Dragon Ball MMO, and put this into Xenoverse, and most of those elements were proven to be canon by Akira Toriyama. It just never showed up in the anime yet because it's so far into the future. It's 300 years into the future, I believe. But some of the
I think it's a little more, but
it was like Age 1000 in Dragon Ball MMO. But Super Mira or Super Mira and Toa, I forgot which one's the Toa one. Toa.
Well, Mira's definitely going to come back. I believe that, especially with what happened after Xenoverse, he's definitely going to show up. Now, the story, I would love to see, like, all right, Xenoverse told an incredible story because it was something different. Every single Dragon Ball Z game you played, it's always been the same thing. Now, Xenoverse had a very different story, which I think a lot of people liked, and there was a lot of what-if scenarios, even though it was with Demigra turning everybody, you know, into puppets and, you know, allowing them to become more evil than they were before. I just think that the story, if there were to be a Xenoverse 2, which I believe there will be at some point in time, I think that they definitely need to play off the fact that the more what-ifs they do, the better it is for the fan base, because some people aren't really that fond of you know, what-if scenarios. Like, they hate the fact of thinking even about, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Trunks and all that kind of stuff. Like, they hate that stuff. They consider that stuff to be garbage. But if you go back and you look at Dragon Ball Heroes, there was a very specific, you know, piece of footage that came out depicting Timebreaker Bardock with Mira until, you know, Timebreaker Bardock got attacked by the Kaios, and the Kaioshins pretty much beat him into breaking his mask, and then, you know, he pretty much realized who he was, turned against Mira, became a Super Saiyan 3, Mira transformed into Super Mira, so stuff like that's pretty awesome. But what would you like to see in Xenoverse 2? Because for me, I would definitely say continue off of the fact that, you know, Trunks is still a time patroller, you're still a time patroller, but I think that they auto-incorporate things that would jeopardize our character and put him in a situation where it's like, holy shit, what if that actually happened, you know? So, like, what do you guys think?
Well, I think that for starters, Super Mira is going to come to the scene, and I'm hoping, because in Dragon Ball Xenoverse he was tossed to the side after Demigra came over, that he gets a better role and is actually viewed as one of the strongest warriors in the universe. And I also think Super Saiyan 3 Bardock is a good prediction there because he's supposed to control Bardock as a minion slave. Now, another thing, what do you think you guys are going to be doing with our characters? Do you think they're going to let us import them from Xenoverse 1?
That, I don't think so. I mean, if by some chance you're able to import your character and bring him on over to the story, that'll be great. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys want that, because I don't want to lose my stats. I don't know about anybody else. But at the same time, character creation is very important, and we're going to get into that into a different video, discussing multiplayer and character creations and stuff like that. But I honestly don't think they're going to let you transfer your character. I think you're going to start from scratch. It's going to be the same story. Like, Trunks is going to recognize you. Hey, it's you again. What's up? It's been a long time. And it's just going to be, all right.
But then Trunks can't do that if you're not the same character.
Well, then again, if you're a different character, you know, he's still going to look at you as the same. Perhaps maybe this time he's going to say something along the lines of, oh, well, you know, we're going to have to go through and do these time patrol quests one more time just to get stronger or whatnot. You know, something very simple until something critical happens. Now, you don't have to go based off of Raditz, Saiyans, Frieza, Cell, but you don't have to go straight through that timeline in that order. Perhaps maybe you're fighting Bardock and Boo appears. Like, what the hell? That's different. Or maybe you're fighting Cell and Frieza arrives. Like, something like that happens. It's like, what's going on here? Like, what is really transitioning? And then we find out that Mira and Toa are alive. They're still working their magic, and they're actually affecting the timeline even worse than before. And now, you know, we get to see people like Majin Buu perhaps maybe absorb Broly, or we get to see Cell and Frieza finally fuse of some sort. You know, and it just throws everything off. Everybody's going to be like wondering, like, wait, hold on, this never happened before. Like, what's going on here? And
I feel like that's still like the same thing from the original story, which is, it's cool, like all those ideas being incorporated, but I feel like there's got to be one twist that changes everything. Because I remember something from Dragon Ball Online, there was like a picture of, like, there was like an army of Bardocks being controlled by Mira, or was that just some weird shit I saw?
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, the twist was we never figured that Demigra would go against Mira and Toa. He never really accepted them, nor did he like them. So that was a twist. Even though we didn't see them fight, they weren't really on the same page to begin with.
Yeah, but that game like demoralized Mira. Like we never thought of him as much.
No, you're right, because the focus here was on Demigra, because he was the one controlling everybody.
Yeah.
At least the entire story in the game is going to be fresh. It's something they can't repeat what they just did because they.
Well, that you don't know exactly, because again, how much further can you change the story without changing the overall concept of it? You're gonna have to incorporate Bardock, Vegeta, Frieza, Cell. You're gonna have to incorporate the basics,
But
for casual fans at least.
Look at how many games you've already had where the story was just completely linear, and there was a couple what ifs in like Tenkaichi Budokai 3. That was like the first game they ever actually did that, I think. And then they have Xenoverse with everything was what ifs. That was like perfect. What else can they do in Xenoverse?
Exactly, like why rehash another game over and over again and do like the typical story when you could do something different? That's what I'm saying. Like I think that if Namco Bandai were to incorporate some sort of what if scenario to where like it gives us more bang for our buck. Prime example, Raging Blast 2 and Dragon Ball Heroes. They have a bunch of what if characters. Why not incorporate that in their game? I think that it'll sell more. Like for example, we never would have. I personally never thought that Demigra was going to affect every character in a way to where not only do you fight him once, but you fight him over and over again because they were so evil. And I thought that was such a great concept. Now, who's to say that? What if there was a concept to where you're fighting Broly and he just gets so pissed off he becomes a Super Saiyan 3? It's like, whoa, we didn't see that coming. Or maybe perhaps they bring back evil Goku, evil Gohan, and stuff like that. Like that'd be awesome. So and maybe even incorporate Champa and his protege. I mean, why not? They incorporated Beerus.
That is definitely something they can incorporate.
They incorporated Beerus and Whis before the movie even dropped when Battle of Z came out. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Battle of Z came out before Battle of Gods, and they still had those characters. So I wouldn't see why not incorporate Champa and his protege, or perhaps maybe some other characters as well. But what are your thoughts on like Mira and like his overall motives here? Like, what can he possibly do that's different?
He's an android, right?
He's not an android. He's he's a life form that possesses, I believe, qualities and traits from various different characters. Now, I guess you can compare that to Cell, but I guess he's supposed to be like the supreme creation of Toa, Mira. Sorry, Mira. Oh my God, I'm getting.
Toa is the chick. Mira is the guy.
Yeah, Mira's the guy, I believe. Yep.
Yeah.
Toa's the
chick. I had a lot of arguments about this, like
the sister. I believe the sister of Deborah.
Sister, yeah.
The sister of Deborah, the king. Well, I mean, so Paul, like, what do you think the story is gonna be played off like?
If you're saying that they're gonna rehash the original story for the casuals, it's
Just
probably gonna be shortened.
Just a bit.
Huh?
Just a bit. They're gonna do it just a bit, I believe. I don't think they're gonna change it to where like it's all the same, but just they're gonna incorporate the basics just for the casual fans.
Yeah, but I think it would be super shortened. I don't think they would try to repeat the whole thing because they already showed those cutscenes in depth and everything, and they already altered that stuff. They can change the game right here, completely.
So, what would be some of the story arcs that you would like to see go down?
Broly.
What about Broly?
I want to see him just show up. I want all the boobies.
They would probably, the things that we haven't seen yet, would be Golden Frieza arc. We haven't seen Champa's arc, and then Mira and Toa's like finale. If there's another boss besides them, because inevitably there's gonna be a Xenoverse 3. They always work in like threes, so I don't know.
Well, then again, I wouldn't say threes because Raging Blast only had 2 games in
Those are shit. Yeah, no one really.
Burst Limit only had 1.
Those weren't made by Burst Limit. Besides that one, wasn't made by.
If it ain't on PlayStation, it wasn't good.
I'm just saying, my friend. But needless to say, so you're saying you would like to see a Golden Frieza arc and a Champa arc. Why those two?
Because we haven't gotten those for real yet.
And Sean, what do you think?
Well, I don't know, man. I think they're gonna, like what Paul said, it's gonna shorten out like the beginning parts. Because if you don't know the beginning of Dragon Ball Z right now, why the fuck you buying the game? And then everything else is just they have to add new stuff. I love the dark turns that Xenoverse took. The original, like Goku was dying in some of these cutscenes, like Gohan was murdered, all this stuff. It was beautiful. And now I need some new stuff for Xenoverse 2. I need more deaths. I need more darkness.
Jesus, you're like a freaking gothic schoolgirl here. You just want to see people die.
Death and despair.
Like I was wondering what happened to Bojack and Janemba and Gogeta.
Yeah, they should incorporate the movies. That'd be a good
I understand they're trying to keep it canon based, but damn. Like, what about the rest of the characters? Like, they even added GT characters. Why not include?
I mean, Broly was in the game.
Broly was, yeah.
Oh yeah, Broly was. But
Maybe he's trying to canon Broly. Maybe that's a little hint.
Broly's a more popular character, some would say, over, you know, Bojack or somebody, which is true. Haruta, they didn't have him. That would have been a great battle.
That would have been overkill. That would have been overkill.
No, I mean, they have Baby and the apes. Why not have another being that you can fight that's bigger, stronger? You know, like, you know, I think Haruta possessed different abilities than Baby and everybody else. He was able to teleport.
Oh, you meant him as like a parallel quest. I thought you meant him as a character to play.
No. I mean, like as a parallel quest, he was able to like do various different things.
That's another thing. Do you think for the story mode, you think they should allow people to do that co-op as well?
Yes.
Co-op, yes, that'd be fun.
Why not?
Like a group of time patrollers, that'd be awesome.
I mean, that's what I was hoping from the parallel quest, but it turned out to be like a more not fully fleshed out system.
Like you're fighting for a very good cause, like with your you know, time patroller buddies.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see my buddies in the cutscenes.
They could take the Battle of Z thing that they'd had. Remember how like you actually did do the story mode with your friends, like do that, but now make it story mode, like with Xenoverse's like version of that. Now you can actually see them in the cutscenes. They can do this. It's all just a matter of fact if they win.
Well, I mean, again, I think that they ought to span it to where you should play co-op. I wouldn't see why. I would love to play with you guys, and I would love to play with other people in terms of story mode. I think they definitely need to fix the group invite chat party system, because I hate how sometimes you have to go in and out of games to, like, you know, get to like your destination in order to play a parallel quest or an online game. But the story, I think, ought to be a little longer, and I think the climax ought to be to where you have like this big final battle with Super, you know, Mira or Super Toa, either maybe even both, 2-on-2 or perhaps 2-on-1, and allow your character to grow to the point where I believe that they could have the necessary traits and abilities that can, you know, pose a very credible threat.
And also what you said with the whole character thing, if we really want our characters to be transferred over, they should allow us to create a new character, beat the game as those new characters, and afterwards, once you're done, then you can start transferring your characters over from Xenoverse 1. That would make more sense.
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, I think I played Xenoverse more than any other Dragon Ball Z game ever. Literally.
I think we killed it on Tenkaichi 2. That was
Tenkaichi 3 was my thing, but Xenoverse allowed me to play the story over and over again. I played parallel quests with you guys, like, endlessly, online battles out the butt. So I understand where they're coming from that perspective, but I just think a bigger, longer, more in-depth story is needed, with some really interesting character development. Like, who would have thought, you know, who would have thought that we would have been swerved with Trunks turning against you? Remember that? Remember when he became evil, when he turned against you? That stuff like that was really awesome. So
the best moment when somebody turned against somebody was when Beerus was like, he thought that would work on me.
Oh yeah, that was the best part. He was like, you think you can control a god, but you really can't. So, but let us know what you guys think in the comment section below about the Xenoverse 2 story. What kind of story would you guys like to incorporate? I mean, we just shared our opinion, so you guys can go ahead and share yours down below. Let us know what you guys think. Once again, thank you all for watching, everybody. This has been Unreal ENT Gaming, the Cobbers Gaming, aka Mr. Legendary Super Saiyan Paul, and Fatal Brotherhood. You guys can go ahead and subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Hit it up with a like and a favorites. And on that note, we'll be seeing you guys in the next episode. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.